Well, hi guys. We've had a malfunction. You see that loveliness? I think I blew the hydraulic pump. Coming down the field, I started smelling oil, and I was trying to figure out where in the world was it coming from. Because the inside of my tire got slick and wet. Uh-oh. Got off the tractor, looked at this hose and thought, well, maybe it blew. But there would be oil here or elsewhere, not just the tire. And it's coming out of that loveliness in there. Where, I don't know yet. I do know I got to unhook this drill and get this thing back to the house, or back up to the barn. Sorry about that, guys. Batteries died, but Monty saved the day for sure. I don't know what happened. I kind of see her streak there. Some things she's let loose right in there. One of the hydraulic pumps, I guess. I don't know. I'm a wee bit on the dusty and wore out and burn up side. Well, hi guys. It is Wednesday evening, the 28th of June. And I decided to do a little exploratory on lawn. Took me a little bit to figure it out, but I had to take that cover plate off of here and noticed right off the bat there is a lot of shininess to that hydraulic pump. I didn't see any oil dripping anywhere, so I went over and cranked it over, come back, didn't see anything. I thought, well, we'll just start it up. So I started it, and oil began to shoot out right there on that fitting. So the O-ring on that's blown, which might be sticking out there. You can see it a little bit. That black. But I shut it off real quick, and I came over and mistakenly went like this. And brother, let me tell you, that was hot. I mean real hot. To the point of, oh crap, what's wrong with it, with the pump now? Because a hydraulic pump should not be hot to the touch in 2 minutes. So I'm going to go down and talk to Harry tomorrow. I already got an idea of the pump shot, but it's kind of in that housing right there is the hydraulic oil filters. And they're not a paper filter, they're screen filters. And wouldn't you know, you cannot take them out because of that hydraulic hose where it's at. So, in order to get those out, I've got to move that hose. And I know for a fact that it is a metric hydraulic end. And there's only one place I know of to get metric hydraulic parts, and that's in Wilmington. which that's 30-minute drive. So tomorrow, depending on weather, it should be nice, come up, take it off, and go up and get a new fitting. Now, true, it is O-ring, and it is metric, and I could probably just get an O-ring, and I may do that and put it on the shelf as a spare. But I don't really care for coming out of a 1/2-inch fitting, as big as that fitting is, to the way this is plumbed in. Because you choked it down to about 3/8. So I may be looking to do something a little different there. And it all depends on how much give the hose has that comes up there. That's what feeds it. There's a, let's see, trying to remember, this goes back to the tractor hydraulics. This is a bypass that dumps in back into the rear end, or the transmission, whatever it is. Yeah, I'm going to have to get my books out and do some reading on this. And at some point, I will be putting just a rail in this under here, so you can adjust the seat back and forth. And if I can figure out how to replace this, it's an airbag under the seat that gives it suspension. Well, I've tried 4 times to get said airbag from Europe or Canada into the country, and it can't be done. You cannot bring that airbag into this country. So, I'm going to have to do some modifying to give this seat suspension. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, because you're only talking something an airbag, if you go in there, about that thick. So that might get interesting, to say the least. That's one of the few things on this tractor I can say I do not like, and that is that seat suspension, because it has none. Not the way it is right now. If you put air in that bag, it pushes the seat. I forget how it works now, but it gives it suspension. And the way it is now, it's nothing in a solid mount seat. One thing of note, I put oil in the hydraulics for the power steering and the transmission hydraulic oil, and it was the 334 Extreme. And after putting that in, I've done whatever I've done to this pump and my power steering, because the oil was just pouring out of the power steering box. This hydraulic pump on this side is for the power steering, because the lines go right to the tank. Yeah. And then you take that filter here out, clean it up, clean it out, because the only paper filters on this tractor is this fuel filter this filter, and this filter. And the air filter now. All the rest of them are washable filters. So, that being said, I found the problem. Well, found one problem, that blown O-ring, but found another problem in that hydraulic pump getting hot, which it should not do. And what I don't know is if that, I'm going to have to say that's on the suction side of that pump. It would have to be, because there's no way you could pressurize it and have a piece of wire going over the top to hold it in. So we're going to have to play this one by ear. But one nice thing is, when you raise the 3-point up, it stays there. Well, hi guys. It's Tuesday. I think it's the 18th, 17th or 18th. Don't quote me. I'm working on along, getting into its hydraulic problem. And I have found it. Busted O-ring. Okay. I just had to fight for over an hour to get the fitting out of here because of this piece of casting. You got to get it, wiggle it, and get it just in the right spot, and it'll drop. But that is the problem with it. Simply that O-ring. And being that's all it is, I think, I'm pretty sure, I can just get an O-ring to fit it. I need to do some cleaning up on this thing. I don't know if this is SAE or metric. I'm going to have to assume it's metric, but I don't know. So, let me see what I find. I'll be back here in just a minute. Okay guys, I got it cleaned up. The only thing I find on it is a W emblem with a slash through it in a 16. What it is, I don't know. I'm going to assume this is metric, because everything else on the tractor is metric. I just need to get an O-ring to fix it. And when I do put this back together, this is SAE pipe, and so is this fitting. So instead of this coming out like this and going back to the tractor, I'm going to get a short hose to come around the loop and hook it together. It just doesn't make any sense to have another 90 right on the pump. One's enough. So tomorrow I gotta make a 25-mile drive to find said O-ring to make sure it's right. I can get the long put back together and she's good to go. It's just the way it is. Well, hi guys. It is Wednesday, August the 17th. Important day to me. And today I have done I swear to God, the cheapest tractor fix I have ever made in my life. Went up Wilmington to get an O-ring for the long for that fitting. Knowing that it's metric, and no doubt a metric O-ring, I went up. Walked in, the guy is up to his ears working on a big hydraulic cylinder. And he comes walking around and he said, "Boy, I hope you got something simple for me." He said, "I'm tired of fighting this cylinder today." I said, "Well, I think it's pretty simple." I said, "I need an O-ring." And he started laughing. He says, "Oh, come on, seriously." I said, "No, that's what I need, an O-ring." And I showed it to him, and he just started laughing. Walked over. He said, "That's a W900 fitting O-ring." Goes over, opens the drawer, pulls one out, puts it on the fitting. He said, "There you go." I said, "What do I owe you?" He said, 45 cents. He said, he was laughing. He said, "Man," he said, "you don't know how much I needed that right now. Something cheap and easy." So, I come home, I got Dad's lawnmower out, I put the battery charger on it. It's charged up, ready to go now. He'll be good to mow grass again. Got the long all put back together. I got to get some more hydraulic oil because what I had wasn't enough to fill this thing back up for all the oil it lost. No big deal. I'm telling you, it's kind of funny. But long as fixed, she's ready to go to work again. 770's already, everything's done to it. It's sitting out there ready to go. Maudie here is ready to go. Dad's all over. It's ready to go. My utility back there, well, that's a bit of another story. She'll run, she'll drive, she'll move, but I got work to do on it. But the important thing is now, all the tractors can be started up because these three have got to go because I need to get the combine out. And I may have to have a helper to do this, to get it out and hook that corn head up. Because, let's face it, getting it past this and not running that or the ladder into the door frame is very important to me. It's easy to drive in. It's harder than all get out to come out backwards. But, I digress. I got some grass to mow here, so I'm going to mow for a little bit. And I've just been wondering how the 4400 would look sitting on 23-1 rubber. Because that is a possibility. A distinct possibility. I don't want to get rid of these. They can go on this thing real easy. I mean, real easy. And I'm a thinking about it. Kind of got into wondering 18.4 rice tires are great with the grain head. I don't know how great it'll be with the corn head. So, got to look into that. And I've kind of been trying to figure out if I flip that fan around, if it'll still blow the other way, same way, or if it will blow the other way. If it just as simple as flipping the fan, I might be able to turn that around and put a rotary screen sticking out here, like the one sitting in front of the shop. That's what I got that for. But it may not happen this year because there's a lot of other things I need to do that are more important. But it looks like I climbed up on this thing yesterday. I got to take the distributor apart to get down in it, but it looks like those weights, mechanical weights in the distributor, are slung out, which makes perfect sense for the way this thing was running when it run last. So I think we got that one figured out. But for now, I think I'm going to move my truck forward a little bit so I can get the mower out, mow a little grass, and call it a day. This is me day. You know? Kind of miss that, but oh well. So guys, the fraw line's fixed. Maudie's ready to go. We never did name Dad's Oliver, so I got to come up with a name for her. And next day or a couple of days, combine's going to come out. I'm going to get the corn head off the trailer. I might have use for the trailer here shortly. So guys, we shall see you next time. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time, guys.